Hello, hello. Hey, I'll wait for a couple minutes, I think, to see if someone can connect. Okay, what is here? Yeah, Instagram telling people that I'm live. Good. Okay, good. So, today is my Instagram live about my June, like my crafting June. So what I have done, what I'm doing, and so on. Okay, so let's start with simple things. During whole May, I was participating in a workshop about different shapes of triangle shawls. So, and I did several tiny samples during this workshop. We start with a little simple asymmetrical shawl like this one, just starting at the tip and going up, increasing one side. This is number one. This is almost the same, but increasing in on a different side. You see how they look like, just symmetrical. Then number three was this, like a little boomerang, increasing here and decreasing this side. So starting from this tip, so it's actually this way. So starting from this side and going this direction. Okay, this is almost the same, but increasing and decreasing part was on a different side in comparison to this one. And this looks more like a longer narrow piece. Oops. So again, starting at the bottom and going up this way. Okay, what else we have? This was an asymmetrical part, and then we start doing symmetrical but side to side. So which side we start? Okay, here we start one side, increasing on one side, and then continue and decreasing on the other side. Tiny symmetrical shawl. This was fun part. Here also increasing but in different rate in comparison to previous sample. Then increasing like with a double rate, and on the other side, of course, decreasing here and then decreasing with a slow rate here. Okay, number, I think this is 7. Also increasing with different rate here, then slow down, more like a straight part, and decreasing here. So because it's all a stockinette, you see how it's roll. But if you do it in a different stitch pattern, yeah, you can see more the exact shape, how it's look like. Okay, next was symmetrical top down. So just, you see, probably it's a classic triangle. So you start on the top and then increase in the middle, and yeah, on the side we will get this triangle shape. Here also we have top down construction from here, increasing this side, but I think it was also increasing this part differently compared to this one. So you see these wings going like a bit longer. And last one, this funny thing. I didn't have much blue yarn left, so I start with a white piece first. White piece. So you do increasing in the middle. Yeah, increasing from here, from the bottom up, and then stop here and do one wing decreasing, and then second wing decreasing. So you have this kind of shape. Okay, this was my like a 2 whole months. Every week we have email from designer, and she sent us this little instruction, and we talk about all these kind of shapes. Yeah, so 10 mini shawls during this month. And I also did a little test. It's not a normal size shawl, but yeah, you can see the whole shape, and you can see how it's worked. And this is the name of the shawl is Zonta shawl by Knitterista. So I test knitted for her. This was my sample. So the interesting part here, so you doing the size of the shawl you can do by your measurements, and depending on your measurements you can do this part shorter or longer. And its instruction has actually 3 different way of for the wing. So, and I did one here, and I was curious how it will look for third one, and I did like little wing, only wing, not the middle part. So it's should like be, which one? This one? No, this one. Instead of this wing, you can do little short one. So this was what was a test knit for other designer. So I have this little ball of yarn, so it's about 100 grams here of DK weight. So yesterday I put in a grid this post about today's life, and I wrote this. I didn't do much this month, but when I start gathering all my pieces to show you, actually I did pretty good with all kind of pieces, and so I do have some other stuff to show you. So in the beginning of the month, this month, not this previous June, like many people around me was talking about socks, doing socks, tasting socks, or even some people was tech editing socks. So it's like somebody around me was making socks, and I decided, so I'll do also try custom some pair of socks, maybe to drag with me to the pool when we go into with kids or something. So I was looking on Ravelry and find one pattern that's I like how it's look. The name of the pattern, let me see, so I'll read it. It's Surf and Kaffeebündchen. It's by Heike Creative. It's a German designer. She's in Germany, I think. And so the pattern is in German. And I was brushing some dust from my German, so, and was reading a pattern. I didn't have much trouble, but some phrases was like, okay, what she means here, or what I need to do here exactly. Anyway, I can show you the finished this sock. So if you translate to English, it's probably the name will be surfing coffee beans, something like this. So if you see from side, from one or two, second one, so you don't see much. You can see, so that's here it's a ribbing, here it's a garter stitch, and all the fun parts here in the middle. And I have extra leg to show you how it's look on the leg. So you see? Yeah, the sock is worked cuff down. So you start here and then going with this fun part of. So it is mock cable, I think, this stitch pattern. So it's pretty easy. It's look like a cable, yeah, but you don't cross stitches. You just do it with yarn over, extra yarn over, and then passing some stitches through the yarn over. So that's how it's look on a fit. Okay, and so yeah, probably here you can see more. You see how we adding extra stitches on one side, so decreasing on the other side, so this stitch pattern travels some time one direction, then we adding extra stitches here, decreasing here, and stitch patterns travel other direction. The full pattern also has some ruffle edge and I think like roll band or something, but I didn't do this part, just short socks here. Yeah, this was fun. I even had some trouble to understand with gusset here. I was reading and thinking, what should I do actually here? And I was brave enough to write to a designer in German and see and ask her a question, what she means here, because it was like, for me, what I was reading, it was picking up stitches on one side for this part, and then knitting something on here, and then picking up stitches other side, and I was not sure how I will doing with a yarn when I just pick up stitches on one side, and how I move this yarn to other stitches. And so I will try this part like pick up and knit, or pick up and purl, depending on which you need to do. And I write and ask her, and she told me that what she meant, it's like pick up actually and do a stitch, not just pick up. Do you know what I mean? So if you pick up stitch on the side of the work, yeah, you're just putting these stitches on your needle, and you don't do nothing, just picking up. And to move the stitches to other needle, you need actually do some kind of stitch, knit stitch or purl stitch. Then you move these stitches to the other side. So I was not sure about this part in this particular pattern, but yeah, the pattern itself is great. Maybe Heike will translate to English, I don't know, for other people's, but people, yeah, we'll see. Okay, more on the sock sides. After I finished this pair, and I was doing something, I think this finishing also this needs test knit. I usually getting emails from the yarn pond where all the test knitting is going on. So I do my test knits also on the yarn pond, and I was participating in test knits for others on the yarn pond, and usually I get emails like what's going on, if new tests appeared on the website and so. And I was looking through this email and saw a sock with some kind of familiar stitch pattern, and I was looking what is exactly this test knit all about, and I found out. Sorry. I test knit last year for this designer a hat with the same stitch pattern, and so I decided to jump on the test knit for socks because I knew already this stitch pattern and I like it, and it's kind of similar to this mock cable, and I apply for a test, but all the sizes, small sizes, medium sizes, even large sizes already somebody was doing, and only last size what was left was extra large. I was okay. I will do extra large. I have some yarn left. It's actually the same yarn for what I use for these socks. And I start making these socks, and the number of stitches for the main part of the socks was 80 stitches. Usually I do socks on around 60, 56 or 64, something between this area. And here is 80 stitches. It took me a little bit longer than usually for a sock. But anyway, I finished this one. Look at this. Here, it's also this kind of cables, but it's not like a cable. It's you can also call it a mock cable, because you do extra yarn over and just put stitches through this yarn over and create this kind of lines that imitate cables. So for this pattern called, let me see the exact name, Eisner socks. I have no idea how to pronounce, by Liz Cork. So, and I made only one sock. I spent too much time on this one, so for the test knit, designer asked to make at least one. So, and I stopped doing it because it's kind of big size, and I don't know, I don't have people around me for the such wider sock, so I stop with one. But if you do a second one, this part traveling, these stitches will be on the other side. I think this is left, so left is on this side, and for the right sock, this stitch pattern will be on the other side. And interesting part also, you hear this stitch pattern on the heel also, on one side of the heel. And back is slip stitch something stitch. So you slipping stitch, one row is you slipping stitch on every other stitch, and second row you slipping stitch alternating. So where you slip stitch before you knit, where you knitted you slip stitch. So that's just to reinforce like this back part of the heel. Great pattern, easy to follow. So just one thing that's maybe I will do if I will designing something with partial one stitch pattern on one side for the heel, and other part of the heel will be different stitch pattern. Maybe I'll do a little bit different here, because this stitch pattern and this stitch pattern have different gauge, row gauge. So it will help a little bit with blocking, so to stretch, but with this slip stitch pattern it's not much stretching this direction or this direction, because this is especially made for a heel. But yeah, anyway, this is very interesting, and yeah, I like this cute stitch pattern. Yeah, but you see the sock is pretty big. Yeah, and also increasing paragusset, it's you double the amount of stitches that was on a sole part. Pretty big gusset here. I usually do about 2/3 increasing for a gusset. I mean 2/3 of the stitches, sole stitches. And here is double the amount of stitches. But cute. Yeah, and I think I made this on a size needles, so it's 2 millimeters. It's I think US 0. Yes, US 0 size US 0. Pretty thin. So I just before this sock I made this one, and I used 2.5 millimeters, and so I knew my gauge for 2.5, and when I started test knitted, the gauge was roll gauge was different from mine, so that's why I need to switch to 2 millimeters. It's been a while that I last time worked on 2 millimeters. It's pretty thin needles. So this was my knitting part that's I made using other patterns, not mine patterns. And what I have done for my part of my design my designs. So I finally blocked shawls that I made when I think in April. I showed you last time. And I finally blocked this, and all this border now looks so fine and nice. First I blocked this blue, they actually both blue, this sample, and I find out that I have not enough blocking pins. I usually using knit blockers by Knitter's Pride. Yeah, if you know this kind of combs. Okay, yeah, this size, or they have this size. And I was browsing, I think Amazon or something, to find what to order. Again, order this part, or maybe it's something different. And I decided to try a different brand. This is red suricata. The difference is only a little bit in shape in comparison to Knitter's Pride. This is suricata. It's more like a oval shape here, and also it's not straight. You have like extra place for your finger in comparison to Knitter's Pride. And I think this box also has a little bit more combs in comparison to this one. So anyway, I tried this one, works great, didn't find any difference, just only in this shape. And I blocked second sample. Yeah, I saw this one already. Yeah. Yep. Looking great. But I didn't do much about the pattern itself. The life was a little bit crazy this month here at home, and so I didn't have much time to actually dive into pattern and finish it. So we'll see. But I also did couple different samples for my other design. If you follow me for a while, you maybe remember this my cowl. This is colorful colorful scales cowl. It's a bandana style, so longer front, shorter back. Yeah, I made this. I published, I think it's in January. I have these samples in Madeleine Tosh, and I have this sample in Shop Wallet, I think. So, and I decided to create also pattern for crocheters, and I made two samples, the same design style, so it's a bandana style, longer front with a triangle shape here at the bottom, and shorter back here. And you can see this is modular technique. You will be working only with one element at the time, actually one triangle element, like here at the bottom, but as you connect them together, as you're going progressing through the sample, to the project, they start to form this like a scale shape or shell shape. I'm sorry. So this is made with yarn, hand-dyed Diva homegrown socks yarn. It's a fingering weight, but it's kind of on a thicker side of fingering, so it's more pretty sturdy because it's good for socks. So, and I made the second sample like this one, knitted one, and this is crocheted one. You see the difference? the same yarn, the same color, and same shape. Here's triangle, not a triangle actually. It's look you're doing a triangle, but you see it's more like a shell shape. And here also, if you see side by side, that's how they look. So, and I actually already did a draft for these cowls. Draft for a pattern, and as I was writing this draft, I was thinking that I'll add also a couple videos to just like a reference. I made a video for so you will be working actually this direction. So you start with one triangle and then work like a spiral here and then finish with this part, this triangle. So, and I made a little video how to connect this part actually in a circle. I didn't have this video for knitted cowl, but after I published crochet version, I will be adding also this video to the knit pattern, because it's the same principle. So only your stitches will look different, but how and which side you need to connect, it will be the same for crochet version and for a knit version. So I'll be adding this video a little bit later. And the whole stitch pattern for crochet version is single crochet through the front loop to create this effect like kind of like a ridges of garter stitch here. And I was thinking also to add video just how to do this simple stitch, but then I was thought that probably just one stitch you can find many other videos online on YouTube and so on. And I decided to make a video to compare actually 3 different single crochet. So I made a swatch. Each part is 10 rows. I made 10 rows of normal single crochet when you doing your stitch through both legs of the stitch. Second is single crochet only through front loop, and third part is single crochet through the back loop. You see how they look different? And they not only look different, they also feel different. And you see how single crochet through the back loop, it's more like a ribbing. Single crochet through front loop, it's much more thinner part than just normal single crochet. So just little fun video you can find it on YouTube, like my Instagram handle Natalia_yarncraft, the same on YouTube, or you can find the link in my Instagram bio. Click the link, I think it's to the link tree, and then to the YouTube channel. So this was one video. Actually it's second, because first one was to connect pieces in a circle. This was second video. And also I made video how to do foundation chainless single crochet, because I use for the here for these parts of the triangles foundation single crochet or chainless foundation single crochet. So usually you can find like FSC abbreviation, foundation single crochet. So it's not your typical like you chain when you do your first row, you chain and then you do singles or whatever stitch you need to do. This your first row, it's like a combining first chain and your first row. So you can do also not only a foundation single crochet, you can do also like foundation double or foundation half double, whatever. The principle it will be the same. So I made this and will be also adding to this pattern. And yeah, so yeah, direct link you can also you can find on YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, Natalia_yarncraft. So what else? So it's summertime. I usually go with kids some places or driving them somewhere and then waiting to pick them up and so on. And sometimes I have just something in my car to spend a couple minutes on it. And I decide to do something pretty simple, squares, and then we'll see how many I will have and decide what I will be doing with it. Maybe blanket, maybe just small lap blanket, maybe if I will have more squares, do something bigger, or I don't know yet. Maybe we'll see. Maybe something came to me later. But this is just simple square of V stitches. Yeah, every row is a V stitch, and then next row is a V stitch in the middle of previous V stitch. Simple. Just making them as when I have time, just here and there. And so this is I have now 3 finished, and I think it's also one in like a half square in a project bag somewhere. Okay, that's all the stuff I think that I want to show you. So I show you little shawls, yeah, these tiny pieces. I show you sample of that's I test knitted, and I show you socks. At some point I'll find who will get them. I think I have idea for one person who will receive this pair. I'm not sure if I will have I will decide to do second one for this sock. Maybe if I'll find person who need this pretty wide, but I didn't do bigger size because I was afraid that I will have not enough yarn for the second one. So I just did the length of the sock about my size, but how wide it is, it's way off my my size. So I talked about videos that I made. I talked about pattern it's already in drafting mode. So I need to add some extra pictures and just do a test call for it. And I do need to finish a pattern for shawl. I still don't have a name for it. Actually, I don't have name for this also. So if you have ideas for these cowls, let me know the name. So if you have any question, I see some people here. If you have any questions, just shoot in comments. Yeah, I also talk about you tiny squares that I'm doing. Some don't know yet what will be actually at the end with these squares, but we'll see. I think that's it for today. Thinking to also talk about life projects, but I probably skipped this part. It was kind of stressful this month. No, let's keep it on the crafting side today. Okay, guys. So if you have any question, or if you will be listening this later, just let me know in comments here or in comments later on when I post it for in a grid. Okay, see you next month. I think beginning of August. We'll see. Okay, bye.